Usually, as a jungler, you want to make a plan at the beginning of the game. Did you make a plan this game?
I told my team I was gonna start blue, and then I was gonna do a full clear, grab bot scuttle, and then I was gonna check.
Or did you say you told your
mid and
team?
bot
You
lane.
told your team?
Yeah, I did. I typed in chat. I'm gonna start blue.
Okay.
Okay, I just typed in chat.
And why did you want to start blue in full clear?
I wanted to start blue because the camps are closer together. So it's
Okay, no, okay.
They're passive.
That's the first thing I should teach you is you don't need to worry about that. You're talking about his. You can chain his passive in most cases if you kite the camps, and your E is a pretty far range as well. So.
Yeah, I'm just not the best at kiting, so I usually mess up.
Okay, but
yeah.
either way, I suggest you lose that habit of like. That should not be a factor of which camp you start. There are other factors that decide where you start, but not just because blue and grump are close together.
Got it.
Okay, so let me help you make a plan based on other factors for this game. So usually how I make a plan as a jungler is I look at the matchups. Like first I look at the jungle matchup. So what you have Volibear versus Evelyn. What how do you understand this matchup?
I know that I want to bait out her W to the best of my ability. Because without her W, she can't do too much.
That's true, yeah.
Besides maybe ult away.
Yeah. And usually when I'm talking about matchups, I usually don't think about ult. I'm actually asking because I want to know. I want to make a plan for the early game. The early game is like your level 1 to 4. So we're not talking about 6 yet, just yet.
Alright.
So how do you understand the early game matchup versus Evelyn?
I could probably beat her in a 1v1.
Yeah. One of Volibear's biggest strengths is that he pretty much beats every jungler. early game. There's not a jungler that can stand up to Volibear. Volibear is one of the strongest early game junglers. And conversely, Evelyn is one of the weakest. She's not the weakest, but she is one of the weakest early game junglers. So there's a big difference here in early game jungle power. So knowing that, I would make a plan to invade Evelyn early because again, you're the strongest in the game and she's one of the weakest. So take advantage of times where you're strong and times where they're weak. Same concept applies. Like if you're weak and they're strong, try not to fight them. Right? Same thing. So I'm thinking about invading Evelyn, and if you want to invade, do you know how to invade enemy junglers early?
No, not really.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Like in bronze, it's not too common. Let me teach you some simple invades. The simplest one would be you do 3 camps, then you invade her. So, normally you would do 3 camps, then you go to the other side of the map, and then you do the other 3 camps, right? That's a full clear. So if you want to invade, you only do 3 camps, and then after that you go into the enemy jungle, and that's your invade. So this invading does depend on where the enemy jungler starts. Do you know how to tell where the enemy jungler starts?
I mean, I know some people usually ward the enemy buffs.
That's one way, yeah. There's another way that's free, like you don't have to do anything almost. Do you know the free way?
No.
No, okay. So usually, if a jungler starts a buff, they usually get a leash. They're good. If Evelyn starts blue buff, she'll get a leash from bot lane. If she starts red buff, she gets a leash from top lane. So all you have to do is while you are starting your first camp, you look at the map. Look at top and bot, and look at who comes first and who comes later, right? So if top lane shows early and bot lane comes late, then you can assume that bot lane leashed like that. So then you can assume she started blue buff. That's how you can tell. It doesn't cost you a ward. It doesn't cost you a ward. You just look at who comes to lane first. Okay, so with that knowledge, let's make an assumption here that let's say you you notice that bot lane leashed because you see Ornn in lane early, but you don't see Misfortune and Nami. You see Misfortune and Nami later. That means they leashed Evelynn on blue buff. Then you make another assumption that, okay, Evelyn's doing blue buff, she will probably do blue buff, Gromp, Wolves. Blue buff, Gromp, Wolves, then go to her, her Raptors are red. So what you can do, it depends which camp you start, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe, let's say you started red buff. Then you would do red buff, Krugs, Raptors. That's 3 camps. You're level 3. Then you go straight to her red buff, and that's your invade. This is the most simplest invade. Or same thing, if you started blue buff, you could do blue, Gromp, Wolves, then you go straight to her red buff. Same thing. Regardless, is you're doing 3 camps, then you're going to her red buff. There's more invade pathings, but this is the most common one, and yeah, it should work well for you in most of your games, at least in bronze. Up to gold, honestly. Even in gold, it would work. So, and some platinum games, it would work in some platinum games. Okay. The next thing we need to think about is the lane matchups. So look at top lane. How do you understand Jax versus Ornn?
I know Jax is definitely... He has pretty good early game with his E, I think.
Yeah.
And then Ornn is pretty tanky, so he can get out of most situations.
Yep.
So I think Jax will win poke-wise.
Okay, that's a fair assumption. I sometimes Ornn wins. I mean, Ornn's pretty one of the strongest tanks, I would think. But yeah, Jax is pretty good too. So why do I care about top or lane matchups in general? As a jungler, you should care because for 2 main reasons. One is for ganking. Right, you should think about how does top play, so then you can decide, should I gank top or should I ignore top? Because usually as a jungler, you can, especially early game, you can only choose 1 lane to gank. I mean, 2 lanes. Sorry, 2 lanes. You can always gank mid lane because mid lane is in the middle of the map. But then you have to choose between top or bot. Do you want to focus on ganking top or bot? We looked at. There are 2 factors. We talked about 2 things that might decide if you want to gank top. One is Jax is pretty strong and he can do his E. He stun them. He can jump on Ornn and stun him. But you also said, right? You said Ornn is tanky and pretty hard to kill. So top is an option to gank, but it's not like free. That's kind of what we learned. The second reason you care about the lane matchups is invades. So remember what I said. Let's assume Evelynn starts blue buff, so that means you want to invade her red buff, right? Later after 3 camps. So it's not only what Evelyn's doing that you have to worry about. You have to worry about what are her laners doing? Like, what is Ornn doing? Because Ornn can help Evelynn when you invade Evelynn, right? If you invade Evelynn on red, you're near the enemies. Like, Ornn can help, and also Yasuo can come help Evelynn, right? So you need to think about that as well. And usually how it works early game is whoever we call it priority. Whoever has priority is like who is pushing the lane, who is winning the lane. They can usually move first. So if Jax is pushing Ornn to his tower, then Jax can move first. Technically Ornn can, but Ornn doesn't want to move because his minions, he'll lose minions to the tower, right? So that's kind of what priority means. Who can move the easiest or the fastest? That's what priority means. Same with mid. So let's look at mid matchup. What do you think about mid? How do you think this goes?
Mid, there's not a lot of abilities that Yasuo's like wall can block from Fizz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Fizz can dodge a lot of Yasuo's attacks. And Fizz is really good for diving towers and following up because of his... I don't know which one it is, but he stands on his trident and he becomes untargetable.
Yeah, that's the E. Okay. Yeah. I think you're talking about... you sounds like you favor the Fizz. I like Fizz too, but I favor the Yasuo early game. As in priority wise, Yasuo is usually pretty strong because he has no mana costs. He has lifesteal. Generally, Yasuo wins most matchups early game, but Yasuo's main weakness is that in order to win, he has to push. he has to push the lane. So with that knowledge, you can think about ganking mid a lot because Yasuo likes to push, right? So he likes to push.
Yeah.
So you can just gank him. Yeah, that's Yasuo's weakness. Yasuo players, they really practice. They really have to be good at 1v2ing because they will be ganked a lot. If you can time a good gank on him, you might be able to get a lot done mid lane. But what that also means is, we learned two things just by thinking about this matchup. We learned that you could probably gank mid a lot if you want, like spam gank it. You could probably do that. Another thing we learned is that, but Yasuo probably has priority though. So one good thing is you can gank mid. One bad thing is Yasuo probably has priority. So that means if you try to invade Evelynn, Yasuo will probably help first. But one more thing to think about is skirmishing. That means like fighting like 2v2s. Like again, the most common example is, you're doing a scuttle crab and you see the enemy jungler, and then you call your Fizz, and then the enemy jungler calls their Yasuo. Then you have a skirmish. You have a 2v2 fight. So you gotta imagine who does better in skirmishes. And I really favor Fizz, but Yasuo's not bad himself. And then again, you are stronger than Evelynn, so you win. You two basically win skirmishes for early game. Okay, so we talked about top jungle. Jungle is you win, you should invade her. We talked about top. Top is kind of even-ish. I would say Jax has, early game. I really don't put anyone on an advantage. They're pretty even matchup up there. Jax is a better split pusher late game, and he does more damage. But Ornn is a tank, which always scales well into team fights. So pretty even up there. Mid lane, Yasuo is stronger early, but Fizz, is a really good champion, especially if he gets fed, and you can gank Yasuo pretty easily. Okay, last thing we talk about is bot lane. How do you understand this? Bot lane, we just talk about both. 2v2, it's a 2v2 lane, right? So how do you understand this bot lane?
Well, I know Veigar and Vel'Koz both have pretty good range, and Nami and Misfortune have slows, so ganking bot as Volibear early is kind of difficult because being slowed as a melee champ is the best. True. I think, but since my bot lane do have a lot of range, they could follow up easier.
Okay, you're missing one thing. Almost perfect. You're missing one thing, which is your bot lane has a lot of CC though, themselves, right?
Yeah, Veigar Cage.
Yeah, Veigar Cage. Even Vel'Koz has a little bit. He has a knock up and a slow himself. So yeah, it's true. MF and Nami are kind of annoying, but you're not alone, right? You have a bot lane yourself, which can possibly lock them down. Like the Cage. Cage is one of the best CC tools there are. So looking at this, I prefer my bot lane over my top lane. Like, Jax is good, but so is Ornn. So and Ornn has a dash away. Like, it's kind of hard to kill Ornn, right? We said he's kind of tanky. So I prefer ganking the bot lane. Bot lane has no dashes, right? They have slows, but they don't have like a dash. Ornn has a dash that just dashes away. Okay, so yeah, this is just gank assessment, right? So if we were not invading, right? If we were not invading, then you would just think, do I focus top or do I focus bot? In this game, I would choose bot lane. And then as I said earlier, actually, I think invading is the strongest option here. So you can have like 2-3 plans. So for example, the game hasn't started right now, right? My plan would be start red buff. Red buff is the strongest start because of the red buff itself. Like if you're ganking, if you're invading, red buff is better than blue buff, right? Because red buff gives you damage, gives you a slow, and gives you some health regen. The blue buff, it gives you mana, but junglers don't care about mana, and it gives you cooldown. Cooldown is nice, but definitely not as nice as like a red buff. The damage that red buff gives you. So I would start red buff, then I would do Krugs, then I would do Raptors, then I would invade. That's my plan A. And then after my invade, it really depends. It depends where Evelyn starts, right? So I can't really make a plan after that. But because if Evelyn starts blue buff, I invade her red buff, right? If Evelyn starts red buff, you would invade her blue buff. So it really depends on where Evelyn starts in this game. That's plan A, and then plan B is it's just gank. It's just gank, and ideally it would be bot lane, but it depends on your pathing and it depends on where Evelyn starts. You know, you could gank top or you could gank mid. Those are okay too, but bot lane is actually my main focus if I was just trying to gank. If that makes sense. So I just want to show you my plan, and then you compare it to your plan. Your plan, you said you want to start at blue, full clear down, gank bot. You know, that's not a bad plan because you are ganking bot. That's kind of what I wanted to do, but you're doing like my plan B. You're skipping my plan A. My plan A is to stop Evelyn because when Evelyn gets level 6, she's better than you in most cases. Not 1v1, but like better than you in ganking and stuff. So if you invade Evelyn, you delay her from getting level 6 and you buy your team more time to farm and stuff like that. Because really, once Evelyn is level 6, it's Evelyn's. Evelyn has the advantage. Before Evelyn's level 6, you have the advantage. So it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The plan was actually just get Scuttle and then look at my mid or bot. It wasn't just directly go gank bot.
Oh
that
yeah,
was my plan.
yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that. But like, that's your plan is the very. I would say the what do you call it? The standard plan. Like you know, you don't have to put much thought into it, right? Just full clear down and get a Scuttle and gank what's near you, right? That's the simplest plan, right?
Yeah.
It's not a bad plan, right? I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying like, I'm saying there's other things you can do to, you know, like the jungle's a very dynamic role. Like you don't have to just full clear and gank what's near you. That's just that's the basic path. But there's other things you can do. And again, I'm saying your path is not bad. It's not bad. I'm saying, but I'd like mine better just because there's an Evelyn there. You know, in another game, maybe a full clear is better, but this game is because it's Evelyn, and like I said, you are the strongest jungler in the game early. She is one of the weakest. Like, if you full clear, you give up your strength, right? If you full clear, you are letting her full clear too. And if she full clears, she's very happy. She's like, oh, I got to full clear. Volibear didn't bother me. Like, I'm feeling good because, you know, you let her go through her weakest part of the game unpunished, right? So, champions all have like strengths and weaknesses, right? You try to punish their weaknesses while using your strengths. So in this game, you would be doing both at the same time because you are very strong early. You might even kill Evelyn, like you might be able to, and she's very weak early. So by you full clearing, you know, by you full clearing, you're giving up that power point that you have. You know?
Got it.
But again, like what you're doing is fine. Like you're not losing anything, but you're giving up an opportunity to punish Evelyn, basically, right? So, but what you do is fine. Like you full clear, you get a crab, maybe you'll get a gank or two. I mean, bot and mid are great places to gank, right? We talked about Yasuo is pretty good to gank, and we talked about bot lane is where I would prefer to gank. So, you would be in the right place to gank. So it's good, and you will get your full clear, right? You get all that gold. That's all good. Everything's good. The only thing you're not doing compared to my plan is that you're not punishing this Evelyn. So that's all. Yeah. Okay. Well, and then now we can press play. You can press play. Yeah. Usually take the most time talking about the early game plan because that's actually one of the most important things for junglers. Make a good plan. And then you can do. So when let's see you practice trying to tell where they leashed. So you know at 1:30 that's when you start your camp, right? And then while you're doing your camp, you should be looking at the top lane and the bot lane.
Got it.
Can we see what's going on there in the bot lane? Okay, not much. Nothing.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, and now you practice. So try to see where did Evelyn start. Look at the top lane. Look at the bot lane.
Got it. So yeah, the top laner came first.
Yeah, so most likely Evelyn started blue. You know, it's never 100% because sometimes people are just slow, or you know, they AFK and they might, you know, or might AFK and come late and things like that. But
that's true. But they also came from river. They didn't come from like tower side.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think little things like that, you know, you can use to tell. So she started blue, so this would be a great game to go invade her red buff. But if you think about invading red buff, look at mid lane first. Like right now, you should look at mid lane. So you see, like I said, Yasuo is going to be pushing. Yasuo is usually stronger early. So if Evelyn calls for help, Yasuo will help her before your Fizz. So that's one thing you have to like consider when invading. But, I would still do it just because you are just so strong compared to Evelyn. So even if Yasuo comes, depends how you play it, you can outplay it and you might be able to kill her and leave as well. Okay, can we look at bot lane right now? Oh, she actually ganked bot. Okay. So in this case, if you were invading her, you see her bot, then all you do is you just take all her camps, right? You would be at her red buff right now. You would take the red buff, you could take the raptors, you could leave a ward. If she comes, you kill her. Like, that's why the invade works regardless of what she does, really. In most cases. In most cases.
I'm sure.
You see the plant that she hit?
Oh, that's not what
Yeah, very nice. I think she dies here. She has no flash because she used it in the gank. Look how strong you are.
And then I thought about backing. Man, there are so many V characters, oh my god. And then I thought he was gonna push up more. And I tried.
That's fine. So you pause right here. Pause right here. Can I look at? Oh, Jax just died. But here I would think of invade again because it's kind of, you know. Let me look at mid again. Can I see Yasuo? Okay, I would think about invading again. I'm just trying to show you how strong Volibear is. Like you shouldn't be scared of Evelyn ever. There's something like, again, one thing you should be scared about is her laners. So if you invade her, maybe Yasuo comes, maybe Ornn comes. That's all I'm scared about. But you would never be afraid of Evelyn herself. So at this point right now, I would go to her red buff. I would sit in the bush and just wait till she starts it. Maybe try to kill it there. Because she just died from you, right? We know she started blue buff. We know she ganked bot. We saw her CS 16, right? Each camp is 4 CS. So 16 is 4 camps, right? 4, 8, 12, 16. There's only really one possibility that she did it. That means she cleared her 3 blue camps and she got the scuttle crab, right? That's 16. So we know that all her red camps are up. So after she dies, again, we know she's going topside. We know she's up there. So and remember what I said? You're stronger than her by far. Just go kill her. That's it. Just go kill her. Yeah. So you go to her red buff. We actually don't know which camp she'll start, right? When she leaves base, she could go to red, she could go to Krugs, she could go to Raptors. We actually don't know which one she'll go to, but red is your best bet because red buff has the bush. You can just hide in the bush, and usually she will do red buff at least either first or second. So first, like she might just go straight to red buff, or she will do Krugs to red buff, or she will do Raptors to red buff. But either way, red buff, she will at least do it second at the very least. So you just sit in the bush, wait for her, and then again, she probably dies. She has no flash, right? Because she used her flash to gank bot. So, and you still have flash. Like she probably dies again to you if you just sit there. And then after you kill her, or let's say you don't kill her, even if you don't kill her, you still win. Like let's say she escapes. She'll be low HP. She needs to recall. When she recalls, you get to take all her camps. You get to take all those 3 camps, and you can take the scuttle. I mean, right now it looks like you're taking the scuttle. I think you're going to scuttle. But I hope you can see from my plan that you can take so much more than just the scuttle. You can take another kill possibly on her, and you can take all 3 camps, or at least 2 camps. Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead, play. Yeah, you go for the scuttle. And usually, see, when you hit the plants, the enemy can see the plant too. So, usually you don't want to hit the plant because that's basically telling the enemy, I'm here. Alright, and you hit it up, so if Ornn, I mean, it's bronze, but if Ornn is any good, he knows, he kind of can guess you're up here just because you hit the plant. Okay, you do invade, but this is very late, right? So if you did it earlier, you would have caught her here, but now it's too late. She already took them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw Ornn, so.
Yeah. And here we're seeing why it's so hard to kill the Ornn. You didn't need to flash there though. Like, there's nothing that's gonna kill you there. But yeah, now we can see why it's so hard to kill the Ornn. You see Evelyn? Can I look at her? What is she doing?
Yeah, she was putting down
pink. Yeah.
Control word.
Yeah.
And I didn't bother because I saw Yasuo was close by. So.
Yeah, you're right. So like I said, when you fight enemy jungler or invade, you have to think about the laners. Yeah. But where are you going now? Are you going for the ward?
Yeah.
So this is usually not worth it because of the time it costs you.
Yeah.
Like and you know, think about it. You already know the ward's there, so ideally you just play around the ward. I mean, it's a pretty good ward, so sometimes you do need to clear that. But
I was
here
really close to level 5 at that point. I know wards give a little bit of XP.
That's true. Yeah. What are you doing here?
I wanted to take drag because I saw my bot lane and I don't see their bot lane, so I thought it'd be.
Same with mid. I'm gonna tell you one problem what you're doing right now though is that you don't have any items. You see that?
Yeah.
So, usually you want to buy something because you're so weak. I mean, you're strong, but look at Evelyn. She bought a blasting wand already. You don't have any items.
That's
That's too greedy. Yeah, just mainly because no items, but also, I mean, you didn't really have control here. Like everyone knew you were here. They already saw you, I think, before this, right? So if they know you're there, usually you want to do something else. In many cases, when you're spotted, just change your plan and do something else.
cool. Yeah, and then playing camps again.
It's fine now. But I mean, I would be looking to invade her again. See the top side because they just did dragon, so there's a good chance she's not top yet. That's why. Oh, it looks like you're going now. It's fine.
Did I?
Oh, you don't. You
I
don't.
was checking. I was checking for red, I think. So then I went to Raptors.
Okay. I don't know. Oh, you don't have a ward. Usually, if you have a ward, you want to ward this bush because she could be coming right now off this bush, and then they would see you before you see them.
Yeah.
So, can you go back? There's a replay button. Do you see that rewind? Yeah, click that. Okay, pause right now. Let me see where you are. Yeah, this looks okay, but does Fizz have ult? Fizz has no ult. Okay, let me explain to you. So this looks okay. Like I can see why you went for this gank, but let me tell you why I would not go for this gank. Even though it looks okay. It looks okay. Like, he's kind of pushed. I wouldn't really go for this because he's full HP. Yasuo. Fizz no ult. Right? I just don't think you guys have the damage, but he's not pushed enough, right? He's kind of pushed. Like, you are behind him. It's a really good place for you to be. But ideally, you don't want to be directly behind him because you know Yasuo can like dash through you. So if you're behind him, you give him an escape, kind of. But the main reason is, one, you probably don't kill him just because you look at his health. He's full HP and Fizz no flash ult. Two is there's actually like other things you could be doing. Like, you could be taking the Krugs. You could be ganking Ornn. We actually don't see Ornn, but look at top lane. Where's the minions? Look at top lane. Yeah, Ornn has to either recall, or okay, wait, he has three options. Ornn has to recall here because if he doesn't recall, you kill him, right? This lane is much more gankable than the mid lane if Ornn comes to get the CS. If Ornn doesn't recall, he might just sit in the bush. Like, he can, like, you know, his passive, he can like buy random items. He might be doing that. And then the third option is the worst option, right? He will try to farm. If he tries to farm, you come gank him, he dies. So either way, top is looking really good for you now. So what if he recalls? If he recalls, you get to take the Krugs. You see Evelyn's Krugs there? You get to take those because if Evelyn shows, she will have no help from Ornn, right? Because Ornn recalled. So either way, and I remember what I said, you are stronger than her. She did hit level 6 just now. But you're still pretty strong. Even her 6, like, you're still, you know, Volibear is absurdly strong. You play a lot of Volibear. You should know that he's the strongest jungler in the game, early game. That's saying a lot. Like, there are a lot of strong junglers, but Volibear, yeah. So even 5 to 6, I wouldn't be that scared of Evelyn. Like, you can try to take the camps. You can leave. There's another option. You can try to take the Rift Herald because you have Jax that can help you. Right, look at Jax. Jax can help you because Ornn cannot be here right now, basically. So the key thing is Ornn cannot be here right now. You have potential to do something top. Like, if Ornn shows up, you kill Ornn. If Ornn doesn't show up, you take Krugs or you take Rift Herald, or maybe both, or maybe kill Evelyn. But I don't think you don't kill Evelyn because she's level 6. But you can, like, if you can force Evelyn to ult, that's already a win for you as well because Evelyn without her ult is not that scary. So. Sometimes if you force her to use her ult to run away, that can help your team a lot. But what you do is you gank mid, right? And nothing happens mid when you gank mid. Well, wait, let's play it. Let's see. I forgot what I don't like. Maybe he loses like half HP. That's kind of how the best situation I could see. He loses like half of his HP. He loses about a third of his HP. Okay, that doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's nice for Fizz, but think about what did that do to you. That shows the enemy where you are, right? Before, they actually didn't know where you were. So you could have taken a Rift Herald. And then now, and you actually got kind of low, because I think you took a tower shot. So now Evelyn can actually kill you. Before, Evelyn could not kill you. But now she can. So now you have to be afraid of Evelyn, whereas before, you did not have to be afraid of her. And now, wherever you go, it's kind of... like, the enemy can kind of guess where you go now. Before, you were hidden. So, like, a jungler's main strength is that they're hidden, right? Laners, we usually assume that top lane will be top, mid lane will be mid, bot lane will be bot. Junglers, we don't know where they are. Like, where Evelyn could be anywhere, you could be anywhere, right? You're the X factor. Junglers are the X factor. So you show here, you give up that power, and you're giving them power right now. Yeah. That's all. Okay, you can play. So you can see why, like, just ganking mid, I think is, not a small mistake here. It's, oh, you actually get a kill, so it's not bad, but that's kind of hindsight. Like, Yasuo shouldn't die there in most cases. And you do get an assist, which is nice. Okay, and you hit level 6, which makes it much easier now. But now you see Evelyn's doing the rift, so really that was your rift, and then now she just gets to take it. Well, she shouldn't be able to take it. Who pinged the rift? Someone pinged the rift.
I think that Evelyn did.
Evelyn did? Oh.
Oh no, I think my team.
Her team did, but no one. You. Oh.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yep. So you know the rule for ganking, a general rule, not a strict rule, is that you want the numbers advantage or some health advantage or something like that, right? So think about you and Yasuo. Yasuo is actually stronger than you, so there's no point in going, right?
Yeah, he has more levels, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
So don't gank mid until Fizz comes. If Fizz is there, then it's all good, right? That's basically how you think about a general rule for ganks is wait for your laner to be there. If they're not there, you usually don't want to gank. Can you replay this? Go.
Shut down.
Yeah. So why are you fighting it here?
I don't know.
So like, yeah. So you have the right idea. Like you went mid and then you left because you knew that you don't beat Yasuo mid lane, right? You knew you don't beat him 1v1. So when you go in the jungle and he's following you, the same rule applies. Just leave. Let him. There's nothing there, right? There's some fruit. We don't care about the fruit. Just leave. Do your camps. Do your gromp. You're fine. Yeah. So. Just like decisions, like when should you fight and when should you not fight, right? This is when you should not fight, not only because of Yasuo, but we saw top lane, Ornn was there, I think Jax was in base. Yeah, Jax just came from base, so Ornn would be able to help Yasuo. And then also now you're seeing the power of Evelyn. Once Evelyn hits level 6, she's invisible, so you never really know where she is. And it turns out she's right next to Yasuo, right? So, yeah, you got to think about where is the enemy? Where is Ornn? Where is Evelyn? And if you don't know where they are, it's a skill, but you try to predict where they are, or at least predict where they might be. So it's like, yeah, Evelyn might be here. You know Ornn is here, and then you can think Evelyn might be here, and then with that knowledge, then you just leave and say, okay, I'm gone. Yeah, that's press play. Yeah. Oh, you did have ult though, right? And you not have time to ult, I guess. No.
Yeah, I did have ult, but I was charmed.
Oh, okay.
Hard CC'd, I couldn't do much. This did get 2.
Well, but it doesn't turn out bad. Like 2 for 2, actually.
Then no, 2 for 3.
Oh, 2 for. Right. Which is still not that bad, considering.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Okay. So your combo. Usually, if you want to set it up so your E hits right as your Q.
Yeah, I want to set first.
Yeah.
I don't know why I pressed ult there, but I kind of missed that.
Well, you guys killed him, so yeah.
It's true. Song on me. And that was gonna help out. And then I don't know, I didn't see Nami anymore, so it's just like bored.
So a slight mistake there. If you go back, or I can just tell you, but right, okay, even go back one, or go back one more. Okay. Oh, okay, play 2 times speed. You know, you can speed it up. Yeah, like that. Okay. Oh, yeah, pause here actually. Right, pause. So right now, you should be taking the crab. Right. What you do is you check this bush. Maybe I think you're checking for a pink ward, maybe, and then you take the fruit. That's like you kind of wasted like almost 10 seconds. But you have smite, right? All you have to do is Q to the crab, like for speed, and then just burst it down and then run away. Because I forgot who died. Evelyn's spawning right now. I mean, they're all coming back. If that, you know, it's a game kind of sense. Like, where are they? They're gone. So they probably recalled or they died, right? And after they died, they're coming back on the map. Where do you think they're gonna go? There's only one place they would really go, right? Because it's a dragon. They're gonna go to the dragon. I mean, they could gank Jax, but it's very unlikely to, because if they gank Jax, they give up dragon. So, you know, it would be a bad play for them to gank Jax. So really, there's only one place that the enemy is coming, and it is to the dragon. So in this situation, you want to take the thing that is hardest to take. Scuttle's the hardest to take, and it's going to be the most useful. If you guys fight at dragon, having a Scuttle vision there can help you guys win the dragon. So you need to take this quickly, because as you can see, when you took it later, they arrived and they could take it from you. But right now, if you just rush to it, you don't check this bush, you don't take the fruit, you could actually take the crab really fast, and then you can go do Krugs or something, or fight for a dragon. If I don't think they would force the dragon. Their misfortune is dead. Yeah, that's all. Oh, and put it back to 1 time speed, I guess. Yeah. Because you do this, and then you take the fruit. See, all this time, about, I would say, 7 seconds. But if you had just like 3 more seconds on that crab, you have smite. You would take it down. Oh, actually take it. But now it's not free.
Shut down.
Let's wait for the war.
So right now I'm just worried about Evelyn. Oh, Evelyn went top, so... Oh, you got the crab anyways, so...
Yeah, I did.
Here I would be... 3v3. Here I wouldn't be dancing, because why are you dancing? What are you dancing for? Think about it. There's nothing here.
No idea.
There's nothing here. You're not gonna fight them. Or you are gonna fight them. I guess Yasuo left them. It's like... Okay, that works out.
And I didn't want to steal a bot lane kill. It's kind of why I didn't get an auto.
I usually don't care too much about that, but yeah. I mean, better for bot lane to have the kill. You're right on that. So here I would try to do it, because you saw Evelyn top a while ago. She could be here now though. But
yeah, I'm throwing pings up here to try to like get my team to realize
that Evelyn's top.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you killed MF. So, and not only look at mid. Mid looks even. Can you look at mid? No,
mid is
he's kind of winning.
Level in health.
Yeah. So you can look at bot, right? You guys have everything going for you for this dragon. The only thing that you could be worried about is if Evelyn runs straight here. But if Evelyn runs straight here and no one helps you on this dragon, then yes, she can kill you. She can take the dragon. That's why you need to do this dragon, but you need to ask for your team to come too. You usually don't want to
spam pinging the thing.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like I was like,
we can see
once my team didn't help me with this dragon at all, and Evelyn ran straight to this dragon.
Oh yeah, just like I said, yeah. If your team doesn't help you, this is bad. But if your team,
my team didn't do.
What did they do? Okay, but once this happened,
I don't know. And
oh,
like,
but you're not. You can't chase them.
I just went for the kill.
Oh, you got. I mean, you got one, but actually, Ellen didn't even show yet. I mean, now she shows. Yeah. So
I don't know why they were so focused on the turret.
well, let me help you. So if that happens, right? Like just now, when that happens, you just leave. It sucks, but like it's a free dragon if they come, and if they don't come, you just say, okay, fine, never mind. I'll do my camps then. I'll take my red buff or something. Like
really,
that's
you're supposed to like leave.
Yeah. That's how the game works. You know. You can't control your teammates. You can only play with. It's like you play the cards that you're dealt. So they're not moving, then fine. I'm gonna do farm, and then you farm so you can be stronger for another fight later, and you can like carry yourself with the farm. Yeah,
that makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
And then they get this drag.
Yep.
Makes sense. I'm dead. Normal.
Yep. But see, if you were farming, then you wouldn't be dead, and then they wouldn't feel so confident to do the dragon. So it sucks to be farming when it was a free dragon, but it's better than dying and giving them a free dragon, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like there's 3 options, right? There's 1, you get the dragon, 2, they get the dragon, and 3 is no one gets dragon because both teams are guarding it like that. So at least go for the best play possible. Given your team, like you saw them not moving, then fine, never mind, I leave. Same with Barons too. It happens a lot. It happens more often with Barons because people usually don't know when to do Baron, but dragons are usually more obvious. Did you just jump in place, or what? Oh no, you got knocked up. I can't.
I ulted and I lived, and I was like surprised I lived because there was so much CC.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think my teammate pings Herald. Or I think I just go straight to Blue and then I do Herald.
Yeah, that's good. So the Herald is a little different than Dragon. I mean, it's quite different. You can solo Herald just fine. You don't actually need team for Heralds, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jax pings it, and I was already on my way.
Yeah, this one works out better. Can we look mid?
Man, oh, this part made me feel awful. I saw my Jax going in, so
he's kind of right to go in there actually, because look at it right now. Like,
yeah, so I saw him going in,
but the problem is
then he backs away. So then
no, go back. I'll show you. Go back. Right. Pause. Oh no, go back one more. Go back one more.
Back more.
Yeah, one more, and then I'll tell you where to pause, or I could play, and then get ready to pause. Okay, right now. Pause. You see he goes in, right? Right when he goes in, you have to go in right now. You have to immediately turn right now. But the problem is, he went in, but you guys still kept moving. I mean, it kind of makes sense for Veigar to keep moving because he's 1 HP. But you're tanky. Like, your HP is actually a lot of HP. Like, I mean, it looks like a little bit, but it's actually a good amount. And there was just a fight before this fight. There was already a big fight, so no one has ults right now. No one has ults, so you don't need to be scared of like any kind of big ult happening. There's nothing really going to stop you. So Jax jumps in. He's going to stun 1, maybe 2 of them. After he stuns 1 or 2 of them, you can stun another one of them, right? And you have your E. Like, it's actually really good if you turn around right now. And if you turn around and stun, I can't. Who is that? Is that Evelyn? I think it's Evelyn down there. Yeah, is that
Evelyn is this one. That's
okay,
Misfortune.
Yeah, so you guys target Evelyn because Evelyn is the closest to all 3 of you. So you guys just kill Evelyn really quickly, and then continue. And once you kill Evelyn, Veigar can move forward because I mean, I don't think he will because this is bronze. He probably just runs away, but he can if he wants to. He can move forward to throw some damage because if you stun Evelyn, Veigar has nothing to be afraid of, right? No one can hit Veigar and Evelyn can't hit Veigar if she's stunned, right? And she's about to get stunned by Jax, and if you go in, she's about to get stunned by you. So then Veigar can help you kill Evelyn. Then you and Jax can use more of your cooldowns to kill the MF right after. And I don't think you shouldn't be able to kill Nami, but yeah, that's how I see it in my head. So you have to think about. You look at the HP bars, right? I mean, MF is pretty healthy, but she's an 80 carry, right? Her health doesn't mean too much. Jax is. What his E does, it blocks auto attacks. So right now, only Evelyn is really hurting him. But Evelyn doesn't have enough damage for him. Once he stuns, like I said, the main reason this is really good is because you guys have 2 stuns on them. They have Nami Bubble. That's their best ability right now, Nami Bubble. But you guys have 2 stuns, actually 3 stuns. If you think about Veigar's cage, Veigar can cage from far away, so you might actually be able to use 3 stuns this fight. And again, you and Jax are low, but you guys are tanky. They are squishy, so that's why you guys actually should win this fight. If you turn around immediately, and even if Veigar doesn't help, you win, and then Veigar could help, and then you win even more. Yeah.
I mean, I see it as a 3v3, but my Veigar is so low.
No,
I already know he's gonna run away because it is bronze, and if it was that low as Veigar, I'd probably do the same. So I'm thinking at most it's gonna be a 2v3. So I just thought we were just gonna keep running.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't.
I see.
Plus the Jax didn't ping like that he was gonna go all in or that he was going to. So honestly, it kind of surprised me that he just.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But I'm telling you, what do you call it? I'm telling you how I think, so like you can understand. Like, so even if he didn't ping, why do I think it's good? I give the analysis, but also like it's what do you call it? Teammates don't always have to ping for you to play with them. Like there's a thing called body language, right? And his body language is very, very clear. He used his E. He jumped into Evelyn, right? His body language is very clear. He wants to fight. So in that at that moment, you have to decide: is he stupid or is he making a decent play? And in this one, I see it's actually decent because I gave you the analysis, right? They can't kill Jax. Yeah. They can't kill Jax. They can't kill you. They can kill Veigar, but they can't reach Veigar because Jax is going to stun them. Then you are going to stun them. That they can't reach Veigar. Then Veigar can throw his cage, and then they still can't reach Veigar. So, but regardless, even if Veigar just runs away and does nothing, you guys still win 2v3 because it's not a 2v3. You're gonna kill Evelyn immediately. Like, look, Evelyn's there. She has no ult. She has no flash. Evelyn's just gonna die right here. Like, Evelyn's squishy. She has no defense items. She's gonna. You and Jax focus her. It takes you like 2 seconds, and then after that, it's true. It is a bit iffy. Like after killing Evelyn, MF is full HP, and she does have a Nami to help her. So yeah, I agree. It is a little iffy. Like it's not 100% that you win, but if you don't help the Jax, it's like 100% chance Jax dies, if that makes sense. 100% chance Jax. I guess not really. It was like 90 something. Like he actually did pretty good. But there's a big chance Jax dies if you don't help. But if you help, there's a it's like you're like playing the odds. So yes, if you help, you might also die yourself. But yeah, this just comes with experience. You know, I'm not really blaming you for leaving. Like, it's very understandable that you don't help the Jax. You know, I understand. I understand why you would leave. But I'm, you know, just showing you how experience can help. Like, my experience tells me I want to fight, but it's a split second thing, right? So in the moment, you don't have, like, right now we've been talking about this for like 5 minutes, but you know, in the game, you don't have 5 minutes to break it down. So yeah,
no time. It's just
it just comes from experience. Like, you know, you play more and you'll see like, oh, maybe I could have helped Jax, or maybe another game your Jax does this, you help him and you both die, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have helped him. But regardless, like, these experiences keep adding up, and then you know you'll get, your intuition gets better basically. Yeah. So I don't blame you, but I'm just sharing that I would have gone in. You know. All right, go ahead. Yeah, you play.
Look, I kept running and then I turned.
Yeah, I did see you turn around, you know, later, and you did come.
It's just like I did it so slow.
Yeah. Basically,
and then I pinged R like in like 3 seconds, saying that I wanted to go in 3 seconds, but
yeah. And then this is Jax, not what do you call it? Jax is basically doing what you did, right? So when he went in, you didn't follow him, and then when you went in, it's a common mistake in bronze especially. But yeah.
He's just gonna back, so just wait for me to.
I'm surprised you build Dead Man's Plate here. So let me teach you about items. So usually how the game works is if the enemy has mixed damage, right now they do, right? They have Ornn does magic, Evelynn does magic, Nami does magic, Yasuo does AD, and Misfortune does AD physical, right? So they're very mixed, 3 and 2. When it's mixed like that, you usually want to have both resist as a tank. You want to have some MR and you want to have some armor. So you have armor right now, right? Your the fist thing, Iceborne Gauntlet, that gives you 50 armor, but it gives you no magic resist. So you know, it's fine to go with that. Like, it's pretty good on Volibear, the Frozen Fist. But then the next item, you want to be going for the magic resist item. So like Force of Nature, like you have you have, what do you call that thing, the moon plate or whatever, the
I built Force of Nature after.
Yeah, but it's a little late because you know how the game works is early armor and MR is pretty strong, but as the game goes on, the tanks kind of fall off because damage scales better than tank stats. So but early game it's really good. So you have an armor item now, then I would go Force of Nature as your your third item. Yeah, just like that.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Look at mid. I know.
Yeah, I'm looking to help mid out. Because I think I want to use my arrow die here. I think I do, actually.
Okay. So, yeah. Usually you don't want to commit too much on that, so okay. That's actually really good, though. Yeah, that's actually really good for you guys. So do you know why that's really good? Like, it's when Nami ults. You see Nami ult like that? You saw Nami ult? Go back.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. So Nami ulted. When you see her ult like that, that was a pretty bad. It could have been good, but it was pretty bad because it missed you guys, right? It missed. And you think about their team. So so right now look at the time on the game. It's almost 20 minutes. Around 15 to 20 minutes into the game, that's when you really want to think about team fights. Imagine how team fights go, and imagine how to play team fights. So right now, let's do that. So right now, think about the enemy team. How do they start a team fight?
We'll probably use Ornn or I guess Namiel.
Yep. Those are the two main ways, Ornn and Namiel. It could be like a Yasuo knockup but like he would have to charge it up, and it's pretty hard to start a fight with the Yasuo knockup. So probably Ornn, probably Nami. So knowing that, when you see Nami use her ult and miss her ult like that, and we see Ornn is topside, right? Immediately, you should think they're dead. They can't, because not only is Nami ult and Ornn ult to start a fight, it's also to disengage, right? It's also, if they need to run away, they can use those to run away, right? But Ornn is topside. Nami wasted her ult, like she missed it. I mean, not necessarily wasted, but she missed her ult. So what do they have left? They're nothing. They're nothing to you. And all you see right there, it was.
I have my Fed Fizz.
Yeah, you have your whole team here, and you're Volibear. You can stun anyone you want, right? They're squishy too. They're not even tanky, right? The only tanky person is Ornn, and Ornn's top. So whoever you go on, I would be so happy. I would just run at anyone. I don't care who you run at. But you were kind of walking out a little bit, but in the end, you guys did win. Yeah.
I was just trying to avoid the Nami ult. I don't know if it was gonna hit me or not. So.
Oh, okay.
Feels like I did see it, so I was just like, I'll walk away and then I'll circle back.
Oh,
but I think I walked too far.
Yeah, a little too far, but okay, I get you. I'm just showing you like the thinking process. Like, so when we started this session, we're talking about lanes and matchups. That's for the level 1 through 4, and then here's another phase of the game, 15-20 minutes. Now you gotta think about like team fights, like 5v5s and things like that. And usually you want to think about it before it happens, so you're prepared. Like, so I already thought that I only need to look at Nami and Ornn for engage or disengage. So if they waste one of those, then you feel very confident to make your play, whatever play you want to make. And similarly, you should think about like who do you want to target, like who you want to kill. Ideally, it's
I was thinking Evelyn because I wanted to get drag, and then if I get rid of the other smite user.
Oh yeah, I mean always the case, but you also gotta think about, can you kill Evelyn? And usually you can't because her ult. But
oh, I fucked up so bad here. I was disappointed with this.
What happened?
I missed it by I got it down to 11.
Yeah, oh that happens. But I mean, you guys killed them. That happens. So here, you need to go to Baron. If you don't, yeah, this is your mistake. You guys, just pause right here. Look. I'll show you. Like, 10 seconds ago. Even now is fine. Or now is a little late. But like 10 seconds ago, if you ping Baron and you have to spam ping it because, as your dragon experience shows you, your teammates don't always follow what you want to do, right? So yeah. I would use all of my pings, I don't know how many pings it is, like 5 or 6 pings, all on dragon, Baron, because Evelyn's dead. That's the only one who could steal it, and not only Evelyn, Yasuo's dead, and Baron is 21 minutes. This is a weak Baron. Like, it's not as strong as a late game Baron. It's much easier to take. And you have your whole team here. Like, you have Jack's damage. Actually, that's actually you don't.
Down here, Vigar's there. Yeah,
well, because now it's like 10 seconds. This is like 10 seconds after the dragon fight. If about 10 seconds ago, you ping it. Even now, I think you might still be able to get it. No, not now. But if you go back, you can press the rewind. You can see it is much better to do it after they die. You can play it, and then once they die, you can pause it. Let's show. So yeah, play it and then pause it when they all die. Alright, pause it now. Just pause it now. Yeah, right now.
Right here.
Right now, go. Yeah. Evelyn's dead for 35 seconds. Yasuo's dead for 30 seconds. All 5 of you are alive. You're all healthy. Veigar's kind of low on mana. So that's, but, yeah, it's pretty free. No one's going to steal it. Who's going to steal it? Maybe MF. An MFO should not be able to steal it. Your smite should come back up in time for it as well, so. MF doesn't even, yeah. This is free Baron, but again, it's a small window, right? Like, if we play this and we let 10 seconds pass, then it doesn't look like a free Baron anymore. So, I'm just showing you, if you play the game with experience, you can see these with the windows. Sometimes the windows are very small that you need to take to win the game. So, yeah. And then, now I'm saying, yeah, it doesn't look that good now if you go to Baron now.
I think we grab tower here.
Yeah, you got tower. But like even if you get the tower, like think about it: tower or Baron, which one's better, right?
Yeah.
You could have had the Baron. Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess I don't really blame you here, but I kind of do. You want to go back? I'll show you why you should. Here, okay, pause. Oh yeah, I'll teach you something again too. So another thing is, like, why I say I don't want to blame you is because your team is kind of stupid. But why do I blame you? Is because, well, you're stupid with them. No offense, right? But like, yeah. So your team is stupid, but it doesn't mean you also have to be stupid. Or there's another thinking is that if you see your team doing something stupid, you not only ignore them, you can help them. Like you can ping them to like back. Like right now, you should be pinging back. Like go away. Like retreat. Because look at your Veigar. He's down there. That's one of the main reasons.
Just back.
Your Veigar's so right now it's a 4v4 on the map, but Veigar is back, so it's a 3v4. But there's another factor why this is bad. It's because at the dragon fight, you guys won the fight, right? You guys won the fight at dragon. What that means is the enemy dies, they go to base when they die, they get to buy new items when they die. You, on the other hand, you didn't die, so you don't go to base, so you don't buy items. Like press X on your keyboard, the button X. It doesn't matter that much here, but it matters a little bit. You see the gold, the Jack's 901. That means he has 901 gold that he hasn't spent, and then you see 685, and so on and so on and so on. So your team has a lot, not that much. Vel'Koz has 1,500 gold. So you guys have a lot of gold that you didn't spend. So even though you guys are like ahead, or you think you're ahead, you're not actually ahead because you didn't buy anything. If that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah.
So you guys basically, not only that Veigar's in base, even if Veigar's not in base, I would ping back right now, just because you guys have a bunch of gold that you didn't spend. And if you fight right now, you don't necessarily lose, but there's a good chance that you could. Right? It's kind of like a 50-50. I mean, not really 50-50, but let's say it's 50-50. Even 50-50 is not worth it for you, because if you just back and buy your items, you'll have like a 70-30. Why risk 50-50 when you can just play a 70-30, right? It's like it's just common sense and like gambling, right? Take the better odds if you can. Yeah.
Got it.